So OBA is an outsourcing company which is struggling on providing skilled resources to the customers on time. If the situation is not fixed, they would lose one of their major clients. CEO at OBA has authorized a project and which is intended to fix the underlying situation, and he hired a project manager. He or she. Project manager has examined the business value and proposed the following set of business values to CEO. However, CEO believes that the project manager did not understand the business value quite well. So which of the following options does not represent business value? I repeat, which of the following options does not represent business value? Customer satisfaction, customer retention, reduce time to hire to maybe by 50%, and customer loyalty. Business value, sum of tangible and intangible assets of the organization. So what are the tangible assets? Revenue, maybe my EBITDA margin, my net profit margin, okay, my sales, my profit. These are some tangible parameters or assets of the organization. And then we have the intangible assets. What is customer value, face value, customer satisfaction, which is not measurable as a figure, but it's the face value. So these are all the intangible assets of the organization. So if you analyze three options, customer satisfaction, it is one of the biggest metrics of, metric of intangible business value. Customer retention itself is business value. Okay, it's directly linked with the business value. More customers you are staying with you, it means that they see a value in your brand. Customer loyalty. So again, customer loyalty, it means that customers stick to you even for long. So we see that it's a great business value they see. Now, C is not in fact business value. It is some operational target that you want to reduce the time to hire from 50% right now. It can be a objective of a project. It can be a project objective, but certainly it's not a business value. So CEO is right that PM proposing this as a one of the business value was not a good idea to CEO, because all three other are fine, but this one is not. Yeah, team. So you are leading a project for a large manufacturing firm, and the project team has been using agile methodologies for years. Okay, good. And however, the team has been facing challenges with meeting deadlines and staying within the budget. A new team member named Sarah joins the team and has experience working on projects using traditional waterfall methodology, but is not familiar with agile. So you decide to discuss some options for Sarah to understand the agile method in a better way. Which of the following method would be most appropriate method for Sarah to learn agile approaches? So Sarah, quite not familiar with the agile approaches. She joined from an organization, let's say, which is using traditional or predictive approaches, and your organization is purely mature in agile. Now, what is your suggestion for Sarah? How fast, how quickly, what is the most effective way for Sarah to learn agile out of the following four options? Research the topic to learn what they don't know. Collaborate with the team members to fill in the knowledge gap. Use a hybrid approach of mixing waterfall and agile methods to support the project, and examine the project's or organization's knowledge repository. So she should look into the organizational repository for more information. What do you think? The situation is that she is coming from a company which is purely predictive and nothing to be blamed. She was doing it in a way and it was working out. Okay. And now you are purely into agile way of doing the things. Okay. Now the best way should be, okay. Okay. The first one, research the topic to learn what they don't know, which is not actually, it's a self-study. It's like not a collaborative approach. Okay, so she might try many things, she might learn many things, but that will not, she will not quickly come up with the learning curve. So researching will be good idea, but it's not uh, helpful in this circumstances. And collaborate with the other team members to fill in the knowledge gap. Okay, now this can happen throughout the project, that she will definitely, in an agile environment, she will collaborate with the other team members. Okay, but when a new team member joins you, okay, and he definitely brings a lot of experience from so definitely you also have a chance to learn something which was working very well with her. Okay, so now it's an opportunity for the team to share the learning. Okay, so what can best be done is that we should adopt whatever good practices and the experiences that Sarah brought to our team by understanding and sharing with each other, and also incorporating it. Okay, and also she should also see whatever is working right now with us on the agile. So using a hybrid approach, combining various elements of waterfall and agile methodology to support the project will be the best option to learn, and it will give some chance. Okay, for example, for Sarah to also share the knowledge. Okay, so sharing, and then they will share, and then it will work out for both of them. And examining the project and organization knowledge repository is kind of, again, look and help for yourself. So agile teams also support each other. So yeah, third option is the best option whenever you have a scenario where someone is new to agile. Okay, so it's always advisable to keep doing what was good for you in your previous waterfall methodology, and adopt, learn some good practices of agile, and use a hybrid approach. I hope it is clear. Your team is working on developing a new transportation platform for your client, and the client operates in a rapidly changing industry, and their requirements are constantly evolving. The client is also looking to test the market before fully committing to the project. So therefore, they want to see the product in stages before committing to the full development. Given these requirements, what development approach should the team use to ensure that the product is developed efficiently while also meeting the client's needs and the evolving industry requirements? Okay, so you have four options: waterfall, incremental, adaptive, iterative. Now, understand from the scenario, what is the situation like? Do you have a fixed scope, single delivery? Do you have a fixed scope, multiple deliveries? Do you have you don't have, scope is not clear, single delivery? Scope is not clear, multiple deliveries. So which is the scenario right now? Think about it. So it's certainly not waterfall, right? Because two things are there. The client is looking to test the product in stages before committing to the full development. So they want multiple deliveries, right? So if the multiple delivery is the case, it's not predictive. One thing is for sure, it's not waterfall, right? Secondly, it can be incremental or iterative, or it can be both. So now let's see if it is incremental or iterative. So we said that it can be iterative if there is scope is not clear and there is single delivery, but it's not iterative because they want multiple deliveries. It's not single delivery. So iterative is gone, predictive is gone. So what is remaining? Two: incremental or agile. Now, now, incremental was the case when scope is not clear. Okay. But sorry, incremental was the case when scope is clear. Scope is clear, but you want multiple deliveries. Okay. Incremental. So, but in this scenario, it is more towards agile when scope is not clear, vision is not clear, and also you want multiple deliveries. So that's okay. Now The heading is telling you the answer, by the way. Let's choose incremental. Okay, so let's see the answer, or let's see the question. Your team is working on developing a new e-commerce platform for the client. The client has a small customer base and the requirements are relatively stable, but they have a limited budget. Additionally, the client has specified in the contract that the final product must be delivered in stages. Okay, with each stage adding new functionality. Given these requirements, what development approach should the team use? Client has a small customer base and the requirements are stable. So which means we are saying that scope is clear. Scope is clear, right? And we are saying that additional client has specified in the contract that the final product must be delivered in stages. Okay, so agile scope is not clear and multiple phases, multiple stages are required. But in incremental, the scope is clear, but multiple stages are required. That's why it's incremental. I hope it is clear, guys, right? Your team is working on developing a new e-commerce platform for client. Client has large customer base and requirements are constantly changing, making it difficult for team to have a clear understanding of what final product should look like. Additionally, client has specified in the contract that the final product must be delivered at once rather than in stages. So given these requirements, what development approach should we use? So that's iterative. So the question is, what development approach should the team use if the customer is frequently changing their mind and is not always available for clarification? So frequently changing mind, we cannot, limit a customer not to visualize, change mind, market demands, conditions, whatever. It's okay. Okay, you can frequently change your mind. It's okay. But again, I want you to be available, right? So if he is not available also, I cannot go ahead with him in a predictive manner, okay? Because he is changing mind. So often I cannot lock the requirements. So I have to keep the requirement open. I cannot lock him in a predictive. And also my problem is that he is not available for clarification. So I cannot go purely agile because in agile, we work on the feedback. So we have to be in the middle. We have to be in the middle, which is hybrid. So hybrid, why? Because we want to keep some elements of predictive. We want to introduce some elements of agile. That's why it's hybrid. What development approach should the team use if the project has strict deadline, but also requires flexibility to adopt to changing requirements? Okay. Your constraint is time. Time is your constraint, but also you want me to be flexible to incorporate any changes in between. Yeah. Iterative, incremental, adaptive, or hybrid.
Hybrid.
So remember this, that we will choose hybrid. Okay. Okay. Now, your team is tasked with creating a new financial platform for a client in a highly regulated industry. Project has strict compliance requirements that must be met, and the client is expecting to produce, expecting the product to be ready for launch within next 6 months. Client also wants the product to be flexible and adaptable to changing market conditions and customer needs. Given these requirements, what approach should the team take to ensure efficient development while meeting the client's needs? Of strict of strict deadline and compliance requirements. So as I said a while ago, that when there is a strict deadline, but client wants you to be more flexible. So which approach you should use, waterfall, incremental, adaptive, or hybrid?
Hybrid.
Hybrid.